Hello, this is your fellow host, Mr. Mammon. In this bonus episode of Spill, you'll hear an interview with former president of Virgin Interactive, Martin Alper. He sadly passed away in 2015. I interviewed him over the phone on November 27th of 2013 for a feature article on Trilobyte and the seventh guest for gamer.no. The article is in Norwegian, but you can find a link to it in the description of this podcast. Also, if you prefer to read a transcript of this interview, you can find a link in the show notes as well. Please enjoy. You're listening to Spill. Hello, this is Eric calling from Norway, gamer.no. I sent you an email yesterday, and I'm speaking to Martin Alper.
Yes, you are.
Okay, do you have some time for some question right now?
Sure.
Or are you busy? Yeah, thanks.
I've got about 10 minutes before I need to get into a meeting, so is that okay for you?
Yeah, that's okay. I'll just skip right to to what I'm wondering.
Okay.
So what I was wondering was when Trilobyte was formed, Rob Landeros and Graham Levine was employees at your place, Virgin, right?
Yes.
So why did you decide that they should form their own company instead of letting them be in house?
Well, it was very simple. When they approached me, I said to them, I hear everything you have to say, but you're fired. And this is the truth. This is what I said. And they just looked at me like very strangely at what is going on. And I said, well, I want to support you. I want to produce this game, but we can't do it inside Virgin because it would be disruptive to everybody else who's working on much less ambitious projects.
Right.
So the only way that we can do this is to do it from outside Virgin. You have to move out of Virgin and set it up as a separate entity, because you won't be able to conform to the rules that we have about production, etc., because this is all new idea, new technology, new everything, and it may take longer or it may not work. So we don't want to do it in-house, right, where normal games are being made. But
those two people were the only one from Virgin, right? That came over to...
Correct.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes. But still, the deal, it was independent company, right?
It was an independent company. Yes, they set it up as a completely independent company, but we signed a contract with them before they set it up for them to produce the game, so that we would fund it, so they would have the flow of money to hire people and to get offices and make it work.
Yeah, and you should publish the game. That was the deal, right?
Yes, that was the deal. We would publish the game, yes.
Yeah, but still, I would believe that that would be more expensive than doing it in-house overall, because you have to kind of go through another company. Do you have any thoughts on that?
No, not really, because it was their company and they were on their own. They had to make or break. Everything was at risk. They no longer had a job.
Yeah, right.
If they believed so much in what they were doing, they had a very good reason to make it work, because it was their livelihood, it was their job. If they were working inside the company, you know, we could be tolerant. They would still have health benefits. They would still have everything that employees have.
All right.
But when they're on their own, they have to work.
Right. Okay. So it was actually some risk. You distributed the risks of
I think the risk was. I think the risk was even.
Yeah. Exactly. It happened to be one of the revolutionary games of the year, together with Yeah, and the CD-ROM medium was new. I can't really find examples of earlier CD-ROM games, but if there were...
I don't believe there was. No, I think there were many examples of games that were ambitious, using multiple floppy disks.
Yeah, right.
But putting it on a CD-ROM was somewhat revolutionary.
Yeah.
And Bill Gates used it as an example in one of his lectures at Microsoft as an example of what could be done with CD-ROM.
Yeah, that's probably a very great moment for all of you, I guess.
Yes, it was. Absolutely.
But another game came out about 6 months later, Myst, which also was CD-ROM very early.
Yes,
but it happened to be one of the most selling games of all times, even though it didn't have animations and live action footage and other quality.
Right.
Why do you think that was the winner in this kind of duel?
Well, I don't know if it was a winner or not a winner. We had secondary market for the CD-ROM version of Seventh Guest. And in the end, I cannot remember exactly how many games we sold, but there probably were something like into a couple of million into circulation. Some were given away as special promotions, etc. But, you know, I really can't answer the question. I don't know. Myst, I can't remember who published it. You would know better than me.
I know who developed it. It was Cyan Games, but
maybe, I don't know. I mean, I think our marketing was excellent. The anticipation for the game was good. I think that, like every first generation game that tries to put everything in it, animation, live action, green screen, etc., maybe it disappointed some people.
Yeah,
it was definitely a beautiful looking game and great innovation.
Yeah, sure.
Was it a satisfying game to play? Maybe not as satisfying as Myst. Who knows?
No, that might be the case. I also read that Nintendo signed an agreement with, so they were kind of exclusive console rights. Do you know anything about that?
Yes, but I don't think anything ever happened.
No,
I'm not sure that.
That's correct. I know some other people have been speculated that it was just because Sony shouldn't, or Sega shouldn't have the rights, so they kind of bought the rights just for to keep it out on the market. But still, Philips CDI was released. That's a console, right? You know how that came to be?
You know, that I don't remember.
Okay.
Sorry, you know, this was which year was this, by the way? You know it better than me because I've published so many games I can't.
1993, I believe, yeah.
93, yeah. 20 years ago, I can't remember what. I did so many deals.
I see that. I'm just shotgunning with the questions here since you have a meeting in 5 minutes or so. I also read that Twin Peaks was an inspiration somehow, but I can't really see any relationship with Seven Guests and Twin Peaks. Do you know anything about that?
Well, I think that Graham Devine liked the director, Twin Peaks, admired his work, as both of them did.
Right.
But why there would be any connection, I don't know, other than admiration for the director's work. I can't see any of that in the game particularly. Okay.
So moving on to 11th Hour, I believe you have a few more minutes, right?
Sure, no problem. No problem. People can wait a few minutes, not the end of the world.
Yeah, thanks. 11th Hour was kind of a big budget game, and yes. I'm not sure if you can call it a fiasco, but somehow I believe Virgin or Trilobyte find it a little bit disappointing.
They did, and everybody involved in the project found it disappointing, and hard to understand what went wrong. I think there may have been I think they put all their ideas into Seventh Guest in terms of the technology, etc., that they had available.
Right.
And 11th Hour didn't really have a strong enough story, I think, or gameplay. I think it was probably, we commissioned it, I commissioned it, because obviously whether Myst beat Seventh Guest or not, Seventh Guest was a very strong commercial success for Virgin.
Mm-hmm.
So naturally, like anybody, we would commission a sequel.
Mm-hmm.
But I think that, no disrespect to Graham or Rob, they probably failed at creating something that was more compelling than Seventh Guest.
Yeah, it wasn't unique enough, kind of. It
wasn't unique. Yeah, it was just a Me Too again, and I think people were expecting so much more, and they didn't deliver.
Right. In the end, 11th Hour was, it wasn't a total fiasco, but almost all subsequent project was really a disaster, I believe, such as Clandestiny, for example.
I don't remember whether we worked with Graham and Rob after 11th Hour. Did we produce? You would know better than me. Did we produce a third game with them?
No, you didn't.
No.
I know that they tried. I'm not sure at what point they tried to publish games themselves, and they regretted that because they couldn't really do marketing and stuff like that. So that might actually have been the last game you or Virgin released or published.
I think it was, yes. And I think there was some friction in Trilobyte between the two partners, a lot of friction, and we sensed that, or I sensed that, and I don't think we wanted to be involved. And I think it wasn't so much Graham. I think it was more Rob wanted to be a publisher.
Right.
He always wanted to be a publisher. I think he had a resentment of publishers.
Yeah.
And he felt that publishers were not necessary and that games should be published by their authors. And but that was it. I mean, I think that was where it started.
Yeah, I know that they had a different opinion of what kind of games they would like as well. If there should be more children-related, family-related, or adult-related.
Yes.
So in the end, but you at Virgin, did you notice the friction and they didn't speak to each other and
Yeah, we did know. Yes, I used to go up to Oregon to check on progress with 11th Hour, and Graham was a good friend of mine. Rob and I never really became close.
Okay.
But Graham was very much. I brought him from the UK, and he became a confidant of mine. But Rob, I never formed a strong relationship with, and I believe the friction was generated by Rob more than Graham, and we didn't want to be part of it.
Yeah, right. Because at the end of the story was, or at least at the beginning or the end at least, was that the board of directors had to fire one of them, and kind of Graham wanted to leave, but they convinced him to stay, and Rob had to leave. But were you involved in that in any way?
No, not at all.
Oh, I see.
Not at all.
Okay.
This was something that it was at a distance.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, I understand. Are you aware that Rob Landeros is right now trying to kickstart a third game in Seventh Guest Saga?
No.
Okay.
No, I'm not.
Oh, he has a project upon Kickstarter.
Whoa, that's a long shot.
Yeah, it's a long shot.
Technology. Yeah. He's a very good artist. There's no question Rob is an excellent artist.
Yeah, Graham seems to think that it was the team. The team is missing, and when the team is missing, the intellectual property isn't worth so much.
Right. I agree. I think that people who buy games now probably don't know anything about the Seventh Guest.
Oh, that's a problem.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I think I got through the most important questions, and almost just 5 minutes
past or something.
Good.
So
No problem.
Thanks a lot. By the way, where are you now? What company are you working?
I live in California, in Laguna Beach.
Mm-hmm.
I hadn't been involved in the video game industry for many, many years.
Right.
Currently, I'm semi-retired, but my wife has just started up an organic juice company, making cold-pressed vegetable juice, which we distribute throughout California.
Totally,
Southern California.
Totally different business then.
Yeah, healthier.
Yeah. Well, thanks for your time and good luck.
Thank you very much indeed, and say hi to Norway for me.
Yeah, I'll do that. Bye then.
Take care. Bye.